Hello, it's Radio 2, Friday afternoon. Victoria in for Jeremy today. And we're going to ask a question that will affect so many mums and dads up and down the country. Does your child suffer with allergies? Maybe they've got a peanut or dairy allergy and you have to be really careful, particularly when you eat out. But what if it was more dangerous than this? What if your toddler was allergic to 8 food types and counting? Well, 2-year-old Seren from the Vale of Glamorgan has allergies that are so bad that even in her short life, so far she's had to have an emergency EpiPen injection 6 times. Her reactions are so severe that her parents give her new food to try in hospital car parks instead of at home. They say they don't want to risk a new food item any further away in case an ambulance takes too long to arrive and Seren's life could seriously be at risk. As careful as Seren's parents are with the food she consumes now, she will eventually go to school, of course, where she will be around other children's food. Her parents hope that before this, she'll be enrolled onto an allergy challenge programme. But with the huge demand and ever-increasing number of children with food allergies, they are still waiting for the right treatment and support. So can you relate to this? Do you have a young child with severe allergies? Are they getting treatment? What impact does it have on you and your child's lives? Text us on 88 to 91, email vine@bbc.co.uk with your phone number and your name. And you can WhatsApp as well, 08000 288 291. Let's talk to Gemma Watling then, whose daughter Seren has these numerous severe food allergies, and Dr. Helen Brough, who's a professor of paediatric allergies and works at the Children's Department at St Thomas's Hospital in London. Hello, both of you. Thank you very much for talking to us. Gemma, I wonder if you could begin by listing all the things your daughter is allergic to.
Good afternoon, Victoria. Yeah, of course. So Seren's had anaphylaxis to milk and oat. The other episodes requiring an EpiPen, we're just unsure what caused those. But she's also allergic to many other things. So the list includes peanuts, tree nuts, sesame, grains, seeds, soya, egg, coconut, and most legumes. We identified these through observation. So, for example, rapid lip swelling, and then confirmed via blood and skin prick tests.
And I think quite a lot of people don't really understand the significance of an EpiPen. You've used it on Seren 6 times. Tell us what it does and how it essentially saves her life.
Yeah, well, she's had EpiPen in various settings, either at the doctor's surgery, via ourselves, or in nursery as well. Essentially, when you see her going through anaphylaxis, it's absolutely terrifying. Some of the symptoms are just awful. You know, the facial swelling, the choking, the can't breathe, the drooling, just that gasping for air. The EpiPen is almost an immediate relief. So she'll go very pale, sometimes quite nauseous, but it does improve that breathing, allows her to breathe properly again. Sometimes she needs just the one. On her first episode, she needed 4.
Wow. What's it like for her being allergic to so many foods? And what's it like for you as a parent, having a toddler that's allergic to so many foods?
For Seren, she's definitely becoming more aware. I think she's more aware of when she's maybe not eating the same foods as everyone else. We try and make it so she doesn't feel like she's any different by trying to make the foods quite similar, but there are obviously some things as a family we might eat that she can't, and she's asking for them. So I think she's becoming more and more aware of that kind of thing. And obviously I think the impact on her is going to become massive as she gets older. For us, it's just terrifying. Our anxiety levels are sky high constantly. It's very unpredictable, her allergies. So with so many of them, it's not always easy to identify where her reactions are coming from. They can be quite unpredictable. So she might eat one meal one day and the same meal another day and react.
Wow.
If she's ill, that can affect her tolerance as well. So it's that constant worry when she's eating. Also things like we have to think ahead. So we could never buy anything, pre-made out for her. So it's that kind of preparing meals in advance. So that, we're constantly prepared. And the constant kind of watching, obviously with her age, she is picking things up and you're worried, oh, what she put into her mouth. There's lots of just worrying situations, essentially,
And
in everyday life.
what led to you deciding that the best place for Seren to try new foods was actually in the hospital car park?
Well, there's some foods that we've been told, based on her skin prick test and blood test, do not try at home. They must be done in a supervised hospital setting, called food challenges. And there's some foods where we could try at home. But from experience and how unpredictable it is to kind of predict her tolerance levels, we have had situations at home where she's reacted and we've waited considerable time for an ambulance. So we do this close to a hospital because, for our own reassurance, really, that we are close to where we need to be should she have a severe reaction.
And is there something that the NHS could provide that would help Seren right now, or not necessarily?
In terms of the care we get from allergist doctors, they are absolutely brilliant, but they do appear to have limited resources. So I think there are things that could be improved. Certainly, for our journey, we found it very difficult to get on the initial pathway for allergy care. It took the anaphylaxis to get onto that.
Right.
And now we're at the stage where it would be great if she could get some food challenges within a hospital setting.
Some what, sorry? What did you say?
Food challenges. So these are challenges done in a hospital setting where food is introduced to see whether Seren could tolerate it or not. So we're still awaiting one of those, and that's kind of what we desperately need at the moment is food challenges for her, to really look into all of this massive list that she's got to see, can we introduce any more into her diet, because we're desperate to introduce more foods into her diet. And then even beyond that, it might be the case that she needs some kind of treatment, for example, oral immunotherapy, or other treatments, and we're not aware that that's available on the NHS, certainly not locally to us. So we would desperately hope for better allergy services.
Okay, well, let's bring in Dr. Helen Brough. Hello to you. I wonder if you could explain, Helen, first of all, where food allergies come from.
Yes, thanks. And thanks for having me talk about this. And I just want to say to Gemma that you're doing an amazing job at protecting your daughter, Seren, and I do really feel for you. In terms of where food allergies come from, so we know that food allergies are just the immune system being overactive to certain innocuous proteins, like the ones that you find in dairy or peanut, and the immune system then overreacts and produces some chemicals like histamine, and because of that, the person can have these types of reactions like hives and swelling, and in more severe cases can have anaphylaxis that can affect their airway or breathing or consciousness.
I think it's probably worth explaining exactly what an anaphylactic reaction means, what it looks like.
Yes, absolutely. And I think this is really important for people with food allergies and people around them to be able to support them. So anaphylaxis is a life-threatening reaction that causes problems either with airway, such as persistent cough, hoarse voice, difficulty swallowing or swollen tongue, or breathing, such as difficulty or noisy breathing, wheezing or persistent cough, or consciousness, where somebody could feel dizzy or pale or floppy, or in young children, often they can be suddenly sleepy or they can collapse. And in these situations, it's very important to get help immediately. And if the child has an adrenaline autoinjector, that they need to use that. And ideally, the child needs to lie down with their legs raised.
Okay. Are allergies on the rise, Helen? Because when I was growing up, I don't remember anyone being allergic to anything apart from maybe a bit of hay fever.
Yes, absolutely. And you are right. And there's a recent study done by Imperial College where they looked at anonymized records of individuals from GPs and hospitals. And they found that the rate of food allergy has doubled between 2008 and 2018. And actually in children under the age of 5, it's gone up from 1.2% to 4%. So it's over triple rate of probable food allergy that was recently published.
You heard Gemma say essentially she's hypervigilant the whole time. There's anxiety the whole time as she's watching Seren and what she picks up and puts in her mouth and so on. What advice can you give someone listening now who is super concerned about their own child's allergies?
Absolutely. Managing a severe food allergy can feel very overwhelming. There are many patient advocacy groups that can really help with fantastic helplines. The ones that come to mind, although there are many, is Allergy UK, Anaphylaxis UK, and the Natasha Allergy Research Foundation, for whom I'm a medical advisor. And they all have really great support, lots of documents, lots of support, lots of really well-resourced information that people can go to and trust.
Dr. Helen Brough, thank you very much. Gemma, thank you very much for being with us. We wish you all the best, of course. I know we're going to get loads of comments and calls about this. It's fine at BBC. Do include your name and phone number, or you can text 88291.
Looking back on summer nights feels like someone else's life. So many things I didn't do. An empty space in photographs, funny how that moment lasts. Now I get to take them all with you, and you see right through my darkest nights. Oh, you made my world feel bright. You opened up my lonely eyes, and all my little sorries fade to blue. I wanna be better, better, a better man, made of skin and bone, that's all I am. Wanna be better, better, a better man. Got the world to give, I just need a hand. So pick me up when I fall down, and lift my broken heart off the ground. I wanna be better, better, a better man. Take every part of me, 'cause you make me a better man. Paralyzed with insecurities, oh, they took a hold on me. Couldn't tell the rights from the wrong, but I had a heart to care, love to give, soul to share. No one knew till you came along, and you see right through my darkest nights. Oh, you made my world feel bright when you opened up my lonely eyes, and all my little sorries fade to blue. I wanna be better, better, a better man, made of skin and bone, that's all I am. Wanna be better, better, a better man. Got the world to give, I just need a hand. So pick me up when I fall down, and lift my broken heart off the ground. I wanna be better, better, a better man. Take every part of me, 'cause you make me a better man. Make me a better man. Make me a better man. I wanna be better, better, a better man. Made of skin and bone, that's all I am. Wanna be better, better, a better man. Take every part of me, 'cause you make me a better man.
Myra has texted, now 22, my daughter was exactly the same. We successfully navigated these problems by taking hospital advice and giving her no new foods from the age of 2. Her diet was very limited, but we got there. Jess texts to say, my son nearly died as a 15-week-old baby due to his allergy to milk. He was later diagnosed with multiple food allergies. I'm thankful that at 14 years old, he's outgrown many of them. He's booked in for a food trial next week at hospital.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
On BBC iPlayer.
Hi, it's Michael McIntyre, and I'm back with the show that nobody can quite remember the name of. People either call it the one where I take people's phones. I'm going to send a text to all of your contacts.
Please, don't do that.
Is he laughing? Or the one where I wake people up in the night.
This isn't a dream.
No, this is actually your midnight game show, so let's get started. It's called Michael McIntyre's Big Show.
The new series of the Michael McIntyre... What's it called again?
I give up.
Michael McIntyre's Big Show.
Got it!
Starts tomorrow on BBC iPlayer.
Rachel in Belfast, hello, good afternoon. Tell us about your son.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Victoria. Nice to chat to you.
And you?
Yeah, so my son Daniel is 5 years old and he is allergic to nuts, to tree nuts, to sesame and to egg, and it's been a whirlwind roller coaster for the last 5 years. So basically we found out he was allergic to nuts because I had made some pesto with a bit of cashew in it, and he took a little lick of that and his lips started swelling up. He was choking and coughing and hives appearing.
Wow.
And we suddenly we hadn't even thought of this before, and that could be a possibility with no other allergies in the family. And then thankfully, by some miracle, our next door neighbour is one of the allergy nurses in the Royal Victoria Hospital, so she has been amazing, and she was able to come round, sort us out. Since then, he has been carrying an EpiPen everywhere, but I think he was always quite a rashy baby with lots of eczema, and then after the initial problem, we then had to be tested for lots of other food, which is when all of these others have reared their heads.
Right.
So,
can I ask you,
hard.
how stressful is it for you?
I find it massively stressful. So you always have to be prepared everywhere you go. You go to a birthday party with lots of other 4 and 5 year olds. Someone's granny has made buns and they're not sure what's in them. I have to bring a sort of treat bag everywhere. We basically go out for picnics a lot of the time, because it's trusting other people, I think, is the problem. I know if I make something at home, I can go and have a nice day out, whereas if somebody else has made it and potentially made a mistake, it could be life-threatening. So I think you're just always living between with this fear of if they eat something, it could kill them, which is just horrendous, a horrendous way to live. But
do you take any comfort, Rachel? I mean, some of the messages I read out from Myra, from Jess, their children had serious allergies much younger, and they appear to have grown out of it. Now, that's not going to be the same for every child, but does that give you a little bit of reassurance?
It's about 20% of children with nut allergies that grow out of them. Right. And if you have eczema as well, it's a lot less likely that you will grow out of it. So I don't hold out a lot of hope for that. And I think nuts is probably one of the difficult ones to really try to avoid. They're really in a lot of products now, and I probably can't say the name of the supermarket, but if somewhere you might go to buy a nice treat, it now says on every single piece of packaging, not suitable for nut or peanut allergy sufferers, as opposed to may contain nuts. So I think the other thing I was chatting to the guy beforehand was just about how you can now get immunotherapy privately. So a new clinic's been set up in Belfast, actually, and it's £7,000 per item that your child is allergic to, and they prefer people to do that before the age of 6. Right. So we're in the last year of immunotherapy potentially working, and we totted up the numbers and realised it would be over $100,000 to have Daniel treated for everything that he's allergic to, and potentially not even work. So it's a terrible thing to live with, and I think before I ever had Daniel, I would have been a bit sort of cynical about allergies and intolerances, or because there's so many intolerances and preferences now.
Yes, you can get a bit cynical, but now you've lived through it, you understand it from the other side. Thank you for explaining that, Rachel. I think that's really important. Thank you. Charlotte is in Stamford. Hi, Charlotte.
Hi there. Hi, Victoria.
Hi, go ahead. Tell us about your little boy.
Yeah, so he is 4 years old. So he has had food allergies since he was 5 months, when we gave him a rusk biscuit, which is a kind of standard go-to, weaning item. Yeah. He had a severe reaction at that point, and since then we've been under the care of West Anglia. So he was diagnosed with having 13 food allergies. So 13 foods that we avoided, which was the grains, nuts, coconut, egg, dairy, soya. So lots of things that we had to avoid. So it was a lot of checking of each label, and doing a supermarket shop used to take a considerable amount of time. To just check and double check again. But he outgrown most of them, which we are very, we really know that that's not always the case. So we're ever so thankful that we have managed to do lots of challenges in hospital.
Yeah.
Which are just, a scary thing to go to, and can absolutely resonate with Daniel and Seren's mums, saying when you introduce a new food, it really is terrifying, and you're watching, for the slightest reaction, when you give them that first little mouthful, going to parties, sort of doing all the preparation to make sure that they don't feel like they're missing out. So, yeah, it's something that you can live with, but it's being so vigilant and adapting and supportive as well.
Yeah.
Sort of as a family, you really come together as a unit to make sure that you keep your little one safe.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Charlotte. Thank you. Daisy, hello to you, somewhere on the Wirral. Hi.
Hiya.
Hi, Daisy. Tell us about your daughter.
Hi, yeah, so my daughter Jemima, she's 15 months old, so she sounds very similar to Seren. And it's really nice it's not nice, but it's really reassuring to hear that a lot of children have started to outgrow this. But my daughter has an anaphylactic type allergy to all dairy. And then it's not only that, she's got around 15 delayed allergies, which means similar to Seren, if she eats something, especially something new, it could take up to 72 hours before she gets excruciating stomach pain, is being sick, getting hives. And yeah, I just kind of echo what everyone else has said in terms of it can be really isolating because there's not much awareness there. And for example, going to baby classes, going out, you've got to prepare everything. I struggle to juggle my job at the moment because I'm spending around 10 to 15 hours per week at night meal prepping, batch cooking to take that food out with us. And I just don't think people realise the impact that can have on you as a family, especially when Jemima's parents, us, we don't have allergies and we've never experienced things like this before, so it was all new to us. And she's not yet outgrew any, so I'm holding on to hope that, as she gets older, that she will start to outgrow.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that, Daisy. Thank you, and we wish you all the best. Thank you very much for getting in touch with us.